That's really fun to play with, by the way. Get yourself a gimbal and just like... Anyways. Hi, good morning. ScoobNoob here. I'm gonna do my first video for the channel, which is like a little demo video to see if I can even do this because I feel scared and like I'm not capable of this, but I wanna try it. They say face your fears and do whatever you're scared of and that's how you grow and blah, 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 cliche, cliche. But what if it's true? What if I try it and it's actually pretty cool? So today I'm gonna be doing a brake bleed in the tomato for the first time by myself. I have this little guy, a Haynes repair manual for my tomato, a 1996 Subaru Legacy. So I'm gonna go ahead and use this to refer to when I'm doing the brake bleed. I know there are different little bleeding contraptions that you can use, so I do have to refer to the instructions for the particular contraption that I'll be borrowing today. But for just the general concept of what to do, I'm gonna go ahead and use this guy. So we're just gonna hop right into it, see what happens. Cross your fingers and toes that I don't break anything. Step 1, safety. Gloves and safety glasses because getting brake fluid in my eyes sounds absolutely terrible today, so let's not do that. Number 2 would be to get the car off the ground and get all 4 of the wheels off so that you can actually access the brakes on all 4 corners. But I already made a very newbie mistake, which is that yesterday I thought, oh, let me prepare for my brake job, and already got the car in the air with the wheels off. So I'll have to show you all that in another video, but it's not too bad. The next step is find your brake fluid reservoir, which for me is there. Now, I just grabbed the contraption that I'm gonna be using. It's apparently called a power bleeder. Cool. Boyfriend said I need to change this out because this is a universal cap, and that this little guy will spin onto the Subaru specific brake fluid reservoir. And then it might leak and it might be stubborn, but it's gonna work. So I'm gonna swap that out real quick. Ooh. Jesus Christ. Is it actually loosening or is it just rounding? Pain in the booty. Ew. I'm gonna be lazy and not Teflon tape it, and I'm probably going to regret this later, but we'll see what happens. So here's the new little guy. Oh, nope. He said I should test it on my brake fluid reservoir first. So let's do that. Oh, that wasn't too bad. Ew, it's so dark. Icky. Oh, it doesn't smell good either. God damn it. Well, I really should have checked this beforehand because of neither of the smaller caps that he said were Subaru specific actually fit in my Legacy. So it's probably for later model Subis. Working on a Legacy from the 90s is real fun sometimes. It actually is fantastic for the most part, but this is not one of those parts. So I'm just gonna put the universal one back on and hope for the best. Oops, the daisies. Very bad at this dual wrench business. It's like I need to be an octopus. I mean, that's the theme of this channel, is that you can be a noob and still get shit done. Right? So here we are. I'm just struggling my way through this. I'm just gonna hope that's good enough. That's all we need. We just need good enough. It doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to be good enough. So let's go try putting it on. Huh. If I had to guess, I truly don't understand what that's supposed to hook onto. I don't know that this works. So this guy is too short to hook on the bottom of the reservoir. Let's see if I can zoom in there. So even if I undo this all the way, I'm still confident that it's gonna not be able to hook on the bottom. So I thought maybe it's supposed to hook right underneath. I have to Google this. Okay, partway through taking my videos, my audio was no longer working. I don't know why, but I'm just gonna go ahead and narrate this part. So earlier on, I noticed that there was this funny little metal chain that was in the power bleeder box, and I forgot all about it because I was like, I don't know how this could be useful. Well, in my current troubleshooting, I realized that looks like something that could hook between these two J-hooks. Lo and behold, I tried test fitting the cap on the reservoir using this new method, and it worked great. The chain goes underneath the whole brake master cylinder so that you actually have something to tighten that cap against. Ta-da! So the next step was removing the old icky brake fluid from the reservoir. I use a lovely turkey baster that's specifically dedicated for car fluids. Please don't pull one out of your kitchen. And label the container that you dump the icky stuff into so nobody tries to drink it. All right, next step. Get your fresh brake fluid and just go ahead and dump all that in the reservoir. Okay, it's a bit later and I just went down a rabbit hole of research. I looked ahead in the book because I wanted to confirm the order which you bleed each corner of the car, right? So I've always been told that you go from the furthest corner, the corner that's furthest from the master, and you work your way to the closest. But when I looked in the service manual, it gave me a completely different order. It says to start at the right front wheel, and then you proceed to the left rear wheel, then the left front, and the right rear. Which is almost the opposite order that anyone's ever told me. So, I have a PDF of the factory service manual for each of my Subies. You know, this one and this one. So I searched through and found out that indeed, even in the factory service manual for both of my Subarus, this funky order is what they recommend as well. So one of the two things, either anyone I've ever talked to about bleeding your brakes is wrong, which would seem very odd, or two, I'm misreading the book, which I double, triple checked that I was reading the right section, so I don't know. I'm gonna follow the book. Sorry, people. Feel free to comment and tell me if I'm wrong. Okay, my final struggle to work through before I actually do the brake bleeding that I've been trying to do all day. This guy is still leaking. Oh, it's everywhere. Pretty darn bad from this fitting. It's just a hose, and this is kind of a terrible hose clamp. So I'm gonna try using a different type of hose clamp and hope that that works, and if not, I'm just gonna zip tie the shit out of it and hope for the best. Voila, done. This is just hanging out. I'm too lazy to remove it, but I put a new guy on there, new hose clamp. That's pokey. Well, let's see if it holds pressure. Nope, I can already hear it. Oh? Oh? I'm just listening for leaks. I think we might finally be good. Screw it, let's try it. Okay. Oh boy, okay. So this is how I think this goes. Brake fluid, fresh brake fluid. Don't use old stuff because it can have moisture, and moisture makes brakes go bad. Don't do that. Don't get into an accident. Just use fresh brake fluid. It's not that expensive, please. I already replaced the reservoir itself with some fresh brake fluid earlier, and now I'm going to go ahead and dump it into this power bleeder. Theoretically, what should happen is there's fluid in the power bleeder, right? And then you pressurize the bleeder so that it can funnel fluid into the reservoir as I drain it from one of the corners. So as I bleed from that corner, all the dirty fluid should just go through the lines out that corner, and I have to do all four corners to make sure it's out of every line, right? But this is just to make sure that this does not drain of fluid, A, and B, you do have to have pressure in the system in order for it to actually push out from the corner that I'm bleeding. So you either need to have a vacuum at the corner that sucks it in, or you need to have something here at the master that pushes it through. Let's see what happens. Moment of truth. I have anxiety. You know, I actually forgot to confirm how many PSI I should pressurize this to. I don't know. I really should have looked it up. Should I look it up now? I should look it up now. So in typical noob fashion, I've taken so much video that my phone died. I knew it was low, but I didn't realize it was about to die in the middle of that video. So I plugged in my portable charger because I just want to show you one really super important thing. So I got everything set up, finally, no leaks. It's holding pressure. So I went to one corner, and as y'all can see, this is my boyfriend's extremely effective but not quite aesthetically pleasing way to bleed the brakes. That's just what traps the old icky fluid, and then a hose that connects to the bleeder valve. Here's what I'm hoping that I can show y'all. Watch. When I said I was overdue for this brake fluid flush, I didn't realize how overdue I was. Come on, I know you're a 10. There we go. So I'm gonna crack the bleeder valve, and you're just gonna see.
Look at all of that nasty debris that is coming out of my brake system at this corner and floating through. I don't know what it is.
It looks like maybe it's rust, but there are chunks that are coming out of my brakes. And I shouldn't be laughing because this is actually really bad. Because if you hit a clog, your brakes are not going to work properly, and you know, that's really not good. Keep on top of your scheduled interval brake fluid changes. So here's a fun one for you. I bled the first corner, no problem. This corner, problem. Doing the same thing I did in the first corner, but then I go to crack it. Do hands. Oh, there we go. I am getting fluid. Bada bing. And it looks like it's filling up from the threads of the bleeder valve. I'm never gonna get this done. That's how I feel all the time. So I don't know why this is happening, other than I have a bad bleeder valve, which means a lot more effort that I don't want to do. If I gotta do it, I gotta do it. Boo! So according to what I found on Google, it's very likely that the bleeder valve itself is clogged, and that's why, you know, if I wasn't getting any fluid flowing through the system at that point, then there'd be concern of a clog higher up. But because I am getting flow just in the wrong spot, the base of the bleeder valve instead of the top, that the valve itself could just be clogged. And this is why I already added a reminder for myself to order little cappies for my bleeder valves, because right now they have no caps, and that could be the source of the debris that I saw at the first bleeder valve. It's just like they're open and exposed, and so the valve pathway gets crud in it. And I think that's what I'm fighting right now. So I'm gonna go fight a good fight and see if I can unclog it by just like letting it continue to flow. Otherwise, I probably have to take it out and like poke something through it, which I don't want to do because that sounds messy. We'll see. Okay, as I'm doing my last corner, what have we learned today? We've learned a lot. First of all, if you're using a pressure bleeder, make sure that you have the right cap, and if you don't have the right cap, make sure you actually know how to use the universal cap. I hope this video has helped. If you ever do need to use the universal cap, learn through my struggles, use the chain. We also learned that in regards to these bleeder valves, I'm gonna go out and look for some caps for these guys. I probably need to take the valves all the way out and like actually poke them and clean them out to do this properly, but I mean, we got flow, it's dripping. I don't know if you can see that, but it's dripping. What else did we learn? Be ready to make a mess. I guess I haven't really shown that side of it, but I'm using up a lot of rags. You can kind of see this rag right here. Hello. With that being said, yeah, I'm blocking out the sun. I hope you've enjoyed watching. I hope you've been entertained. And yeah, I'm down to film more of my struggles working on my two little Subies. So, catch you later. Sneaky bonus note, after I took the pressure bleeder off of here, it was full to the brim with brake fluid, but you do have a min and a max line down here. So I just use my little aspiration thingamabob, turkey baster, and pull fluid out of here until it hit that max line, just because I don't know what happens when it's over full. Probably just leaks, but you know, we don't want that either. So, yep, don't forget to bring it back to within spec for your level. Okay.